Hey yo, what's up? You know what it is. It's the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. And of course, I'd like to welcome you guys back to another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks on it. Yo, tables, ladders, and chairs and no stairs 2016, man. Let's just go ahead and get to the business because this is a pay-per-view that's allegedly supposed to put ends to rivalries and things like that so we can start our journey to the road to WrestleMania. And this pay-per-view did a lot of that and some of none of that and a whole bunch of stupid ignorant shit that you expect because fuck it, it's wrestling. As usual, have the results in front of me because I don't watch a pre-show because who has the time to do that? On that pre-show, the Hype Bros, American Alpha, and Apollo Crews beat the Vaudevillains, The Ascension, and Kurt Hawkins. American Alpha, they probably, like I said, they gonna win the titles at Mania. That's just the thing that's gonna happen. And I'm like, Apollo Crews, they ain't found nothing for my boy to do. And Kurt Hawkins been DOA since he came because that gimmick ain't getting over. It just is what it is with that. So, let them stay on the pre-show where they belong and let's move on. On the actual pay-per-view that people pay money to see, our first match was for the Tag Team Championships and Bray fucking Wyatt finally wins one. Not a world championship like I think the character could have held years ago and deserved, but a tag team championship, which I guess is going to be defended under Freebird rules just like the New Day does because, you know, that's just the thing that makes sense. Because my thing with Heath Slater and Rhino is that it's just one of, like the Heath Slater and Rhino thing was just one of those accidents. I don't honestly think they expected that whole free agent draft thing to get over the way it did because Heath Slater did a lot with that little, and I can give respect for that. You know what I'm saying? Giving Rhino this reign, but you know he got political stuff to do because he's like what something in wherever he's from. I think that's where's RoboCop. Where does RoboCop take place? And that's the only. Detroit, thank you. 8 Mile. Move the devil in the... No. But this was going to happen, but it's like I said, is that the thing like I just said earlier is that you need a team like the Wyatts for American Alpha to take the belts from at Mania. So the Wyatt family, they're going to be champions for a minute just to keep them titles warm so you can have something to do at the Raw and SmackDown Live after Mania. So it's gonna be a nice little reign for the Wyatt family, and they gonna run with it for a minute till it's time to hand it over to American Alpha because that's just the thing that makes logical sense. But as we're about to learn about this pay-per-view, what the fuck is in WWE is logical fucking sense. Anyway, I'm so happy for Carmella that she lost. For real, I'm so happy for poor Carmella. I done got what I used to have like a beef with her because she was just doing her thing, you know what I'm saying, and doing without Enzo and Cass. And at first it felt weird, but you know, she doing that smack talk shit, you know what I'm saying, and I respect it, you know what I'm saying. It's like she didn't really got the character over for me, you know what I'm saying. It makes sense for her to talk all this shit about Nikki Bella and her titties and John Cena and all that because that makes sense for the character. The thing is that I'm happy for Carmella because she getting as far the fuck away from Nikki Bella as she can. Because no offense to Nikki Bella, but them two just going back and forth every damn week, dog. I'm just perfectly sick of seeing it. And Carmella needs to do something new. And given what we're going to talk about in a minute about the current landscape of the SmackDown Women's Division, Carmella can do some interesting stuff. The one thing I'm glad they did was they finally cashed in on whatever that happened at Survivor Series because we all knew Natalya hit Nikki in the damn head so she could be in the damn match that they still lost. But I'm just glad it just wasn't one-off bullshit and they actually cashed in on that. So you know, it's gonna be. I don't know how interesting it is. It's gonna be to see Natalya and Nikki go at it for a while over you hit me in the head so you can be in this match so you can be player coach like you Sean Kemp or some shit. I don't fucking know. But this is wrestling for your ass. And speaking of more wrestling, Dolph Ziggler lost. And you might be wondering, like, why am I not highlighting The Miz winning? Here's the thing. I honestly like looked at the match just up and up, straight up, as like on the card that Dolph gonna win because it's time. Miz done all he can with the Intercontinental Championship, but the thing is that maybe they ain't quite ready for the main event to put him in there, so they need something for him to do, and it's like Dolph just gonna fade back into the background for a while because this is another thing that I'm glad is over. It's like Miz at this point, like I say, he done came up, down, and around on me more than once. Like when he was the heavyweight champion years ago, dog, I was feeling him. Like I said before, hate me now, legendary shit. Miz doing this thing, and it's like it's gonna be interesting to see what they gonna do with this because the thing is that Daniel Bryan ain't finna get back in the fucking ring, so it ain't no way you gonna cash in on that. But I see Daniel Bryan handpicking somebody so that he go at the Miz, but it's like I'll sit up here and say it again, like what Dolph Ziggler gonna do? What they got left for Dolph Ziggler? Because the thing is that this was one of the only matches on the damn card I thought was hot. Because we'll get into that, and we'll get into that a little more later as we go through the rest of the card. But I'm like, this was a damn good ladder match. No Maurice bullshit, no nothing. Just a straight ladder match, and the Miz got the better of Dolph Ziggler. But you have to wonder, and I do, as someone who watches this stuff not only for the wrestling but for the storytelling, is what are they gonna do with these two people? It's like Dolph's gonna fade into the background. Miz gonna keep fake beefing or shooting, as the kids say, or working them, whatever fucking wrestling term you want to use for what the Miz gonna do with Daniel Bryan. But Daniel Bryan ain't getting back in the ring. He ain't getting back in the ring. So while they sit up there and they tease that shit every week, which I think is just the dumbest shit in the world to fucking do, is that it's going to be interesting to see how this develops because you got to put somebody on Miz. It's like, I remember for the 2 seconds when I thought they were going to do something with the nigga Apollo Crews. That didn't happen. So, like I say, it's going to be an interesting thing to see what they do with the Miz and how far Dolph Ziggler going to fade back into existence because he ain't getting nowhere near the Intercontinental title anytime soon, and there's no way he should be even in the orbit of the World Heavyweight Championship. So, it'll be interesting to see what that is. Baron Corbin beat Kalisto and no one cared. They beat each other with chairs for a nice little minute, but no one cares because why the fuck are these two wrestling? It's like they need to find something for Baron Corbin to do, and Kalisto need to go on Raw so he can go wrestle with the cruiserweights, beginning, middle, and end of this. Like I said, they went ham on each other with them chairs. Do not get me wrong, but this is a match like you sit up here and you ask, why in the fuck is this even happening? And the closer we get to WrestleMania, the more I will be asking this question about booking, about why the fuck is this match even taking place in the first place. I use first place twice. Anywho, Alexa beat Becky. Something that was long overdue. Because at this point, you done built up Alexa enough, she can carry that title. They went dumb on each other. Great tables match. They went dumb on each other. It's just Alexa time now. Becky gonna chase it for a minute, but you have to wonder. It's like I don't think this is going to be what it is on what it is on Raw, where you got Charlotte and my beta boss sitting up here going back and forth, passing the title back and forth like hot potato. I don't think this is going to be that situation. Alexa gonna have the championship for a while, and Becky Lynch might take it back off her, but it's not going to be anytime soon if they really want to give Alexa a real run at the title. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they gonna really be going round and round in circles with each other over the title, but I don't think you gonna get just a burn off rematch so quickly. But given how SmackDown Live work, it wouldn't guarantee me that they write Becky Lynch and cash in her rematch on Tuesday and then lose again because whatever, or get the title back because, you know, again, wrestling booking is weird at the end. AJ Styles is still champion. I'm just like, the fuck. That's all I got. The fuck. I'm like, AJ and Dean went at each other for a good 20-something minutes before punk-ass James Ellsworth came down to the fucking ring. I'm like, I get it, but I don't get it. I knew this turn for James Ellsworth was fucking coming because that's fucking logic and makes sense from any standpoint you wish to approach it from. But why in the fuck would you have, it's like, why the fuck would you book a match that was that hot where AJ and Dean were going at each other? You had that springboard moonsault late in the match from AJ. You had that elbow off the top rope. I'm like, yo, they were going at each other's throat. And to have the finish ruined by bringing out James Ellsworth, old punk ass. And I'm like, my thing is that I'm like, I was never feeling the James Ellsworth character in the first place. So I'm not gonna sit up here and say like I was riding that wave or whatever. James Ellsworth, it's like he was a cool character, but as soon as they introduced him and started giving him fucking bullshit ass title matches, you knew this was coming. You knew that one way or another that he was gonna ultimately either they were finna give him a heel turn or he was gonna keep costing Dean Ambrose the title. So now you had a whole bunch of column A. Now you got column A and column B in a match that didn't even need it. That match did not need that finish. If you wanted to, you could have still had AJ won and beat him. But it's like, you can't have a champ because it's like, you can't have AJ win it clean. That makes zero sense as a heel champion. So there's that, but you could have had James Ellsworth fake his injury after the match, come out there and have Dean and get Dean stomped out by him and AJ after the match just to fucking make a point. Hit him with a Styles Clash into the no chin music or whatever the fuck you want to do. But that finish was garbage. The match was hot fire. That finish was garbage as fuck. That's it. That's all. So what's gonna happen with this now? AJ the champion with nobody legitimate storyline wise to even go at him, so you gon' throw Dean Ambrose right back into orbit. But now you got James Ellsworth as AJ Styles #1 fan or some shit. I don't get. You know what? I can't even sit up here and harp on the magic of I don't get it because I don't get it. It makes zero sense, but it's going to be interesting as it always is to watch the fallout on SmackDown or Thursday on Thunder if you want to be technical about it. But still, hot match, garbage fucking finish. That's it. And I don't know how many times since I've been doing this that I have had an AJ Styles match in front of me to talk about. The match hot, but the finish garbage as fuck. And it's like, I guess what I'm saying is, not to get too into my feelings about it because this is wrestling and it's scripted and things like that, is I enjoy a good wrestling match. And that was a hot wrestling match that went for a good 20-something minutes before James Ellsworth, old punk ass, had to ruin the finish because we need to insert James Ellsworth somewhere. And I'm just sitting up here like, lol. Dank ass memes. I don't fucking know. That's a pay-per-view because I have stuff to do better than this. There were a couple of hot matches, mainly AJ and Dean until that finish. Alexa and Becky Lynch, the Miz and Dolph Ziggler, and you should watch the Wyatt family win a damn tag title because this is history and may never happen again. Or either that, or this could be the beginning of Bray Wyatt actually winning some damn titles. Other than that, you can skip the rest of this garbage. I'm like, all you need to know about the Nikki Bella versus Carmella match is they finally blew that the fuck off, and Nikki finna go over there and go deal with Natalia your motherfucking ass. Who gives a fuck what Baron Corbin or Kalisto gonna do because they hit themselves with a whole bunch of chairs? That's the pay-per-view. The only match is worth seeing the finish to the Wyatt family match. The Miz beating Dolph Ziggler, that's probably the match of the night. You probably want to watch that. You might want to see the finish where Alexa beat Becky Lynch off some weird trip into a powerbomb into a table because, fucking finishes. And AJ and Dean was hot until James Ellsworth punk ass. That's a pay-per-view. Congratulations. This is what you pay $9.99 a month for. Satisfied? Maybe or maybe not. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. You know it is. The one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. And I'd like to thank you for joining me for another installment of Triple the Gas Peaks on it. With that, I'll see you guys next time, man. Peace out.